Let's rock and roll it then. You know what I'm talking about. What's wise out there, my people? It's wise thoughts, wise moves, wise clues for you guys to be wise too. And I'm the wise guy who once was that fool. You know what I'm talking about? Man, we finna get off to a few subjects today, man. Yeah, we finna get off into a few subjects today, man. We're gonna talk about here, I said about 3 weeks ago, right? We had the people in power. We even had Donald Trump even say this right here. He said the aliens is on their way back. He said the aliens are coming. They're on their way. You know where I'm coming from? So everybody said, what is the alien on? Now we got everybody talking about the aliens, right? And let me speak this before I get off into what I'm going to say. It's my opinion when I'm fixed to get ready a shirt right now, right? But Donald Trump did say the aliens are on their way back. He did say that. Now here comes my opinion, right? For the last few shows, I've been telling y'all that we are the aliens, right? I keep on telling y'all that we are the aliens. But you guys don't have to believe it because it's just my opinion. You know where I'm coming from? So right after he said the aliens are coming, you guys didn't notice this right here. The voter rights. Yeah, y'all didn't catch on to that. When he said the aliens was coming, y'all didn't catch on to that. Right after he said that, 2-3 weeks later, Supreme Court changed over the voting rights. So now what that means to people who don't understand what it means about voting rights, see, if you go study the Congress, the senators and all that stuff, we don't have too many black people in there representing the black people, period, you know? So when you give people with the brothers and sisters with the same color skin as me too much power, well, not even just too much power, I'm gonna say too much money. See, we the chosen ones. So that's what a lot of y'all don't understand. We the chosen ones. So if you give us the right type of money and the right type of knowledge that we need out here to survive, you're gonna have Black Wall Street all over again. And for those who don't understand that was happening to us back a long time ago. So for that to stop that from happening again, since everything is almost like in riddles, you know, like I keep trying to tell everybody, man, everything is in riddles. You got to be able to read between the blank lines of what people are talking about, you know? Most of it comes down to this right here. Experience and common sense. Most of it comes down to that right there, right? So when they said the aliens are coming, once again, they was talking about the black folks with the same color skin as me, getting their power, getting enough information enough to change things to make it to be what it's supposed to be, right? So to stop that from happening, Supreme Court then changed it back over and took the voter rights away from the blacks. You know where I'm coming from? So now everybody's all uptight about this situation. But when I heard about it, I started thinking about it a little bit, like, yeah, well, maybe it is something wrong about this, and maybe it's not. Then I got to thinking about this right here. There's too many black people right now, brothers and sisters, let me say that. Wealthy too, so let me say that too, wealthy. They're not doing nothing for the communities. It's almost like the Willie Lynch law. You know, when they said turn the older people against the youngsters, turn the light-skinned people against the brown-skinned people, make them argue about what's right and wrong, put money in their face. So I don't knock what they done and what they did and how they done it. The outcome of it is this right here. It's time for a whole nother strategy. You know? And the strategy, you know, I'm going to speak from my opinion again. All these churches that's getting this money from the government, riding around in these big old cars, living in these big old houses. I'm going to get off the subject and get on something right here real quick. They say, how can you change a fool into a wise guy? So I'm going to give y'all a little understanding of me. How can you change a fool into a wise guy? Here's how you can change a fool into a wise guy. Give them something to understand. Give them something to love. Give them a vision on a direction that needs to be taken. You know where I'm coming from? I say that to say this. I was lost a point in time of my life, right? I was angry about a lot of things that was going on, you know? That anger inside of me, it's almost like they say, hurt people, hurt other people. You know where I'm coming from? So that's the fool when you're angry, with no understanding, no direction, blaming people for certain things that you had control of, but you didn't make the right choices and decisions on it. So you chose to blame somebody else. You know where I'm coming from? So what changed me into this wise guy I'm finna share with you guys? I sat down with a pastor a while back ago, right? I didn't really sit down with him. I was speaking to my grandma and my auntie about certain things. You know where I'm coming from? And the way I broke it down to my grandma and my auntie, I used something that they love as the example of what I was talking about. And the way I broke it down to them, it helped them to understand the vision and the understanding that I was on. So here's what happened next. My auntie introduced me to a pastor at the church, right? So when the pastor walked up to me, he came up and said what he said. I said what I said. So he got to saying some few words that he said, and I said this. I found something inside of me. So before I even got to speak what I was getting ready to speak, he shut me off and said this. We need to have a talk one day and have a lunch. He never called me for that lunch. You know, that's one incident. Second incident, it was certain situations that was going on with another pastor, right? The people looked up to this pastor right here. You understand what I'm saying? So by them looking up to this pastor, it pushed me farther into the darkness. And how it pushed me farther into darkness, because I was raised up believing in the Bible, in a God that was outside of me. You know where I'm coming from? So when certain things start going on, that's what I started talking to. Something that was outside of me. You know where I'm coming from? So after this last pastor did what he did, you go look at some subjects, and I already talked about it on one of my episodes, so go check it out. That's one of the pastors. You know, now here go the third pastor. He come around. His eyes was on money, nothing else. So I started looking at life totally different off that one right there. I ain't gonna get off into the details of why, but I started looking at life a little bit different. So that's when I said, hey, I think I've been getting lied to all this time. That's what was making me so angry. Because the way it was brought to me as a kid, if you pray and ask for certain things, God will deliver it for you. You know where I'm coming from? So what a lot of y'all don't understand, y'all might always say, now, so what made me different is that I saw the separation in the family. You know where I'm coming from? As a kid, I saw this. And my moms and pops is all about love, so it's inside of me. About this love stuff is inside of me. It ain't nothing that's on me, it's in me. You know? So I saw that as a kid. I'm like, dang, how can all this people that's praying every day, singing in the choir every Sunday, and choir practice, Bible study, and all of this, right? I'm like, okay, if this is the situation that God has these powers to deliver to us, if we have faith in Him and believe in Him, like I said, when I chose to sit down and talk to Him after all these things that happened to me with pastors, you know where I'm coming from, people that pray, you know where I'm coming from, I said, hey, somebody been telling me a lie about something, you know? So when I started looking within me, that anger started going away. Because what happened was this right here. I started admitting to the things that I was doing wrong, right? I started admitting to the things that I was saying wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that this right here, if I present words in a different way, and if I don't use my anger towards anyone, figure out how to see, let me say it right, figure out what is making me angry so I won't take it out on no one else, then I'll be a better person. So that's when I say I'm no longer finna be no fool. I'm no longer finna walk into these traps. I'm no longer finna allow them to program my brain. I'm finna figure this out my way. By understanding that I have a power that's inside of me to do whatever and anything I want to do, whenever I want to do it. The power was in me to do it. So I started looking at things a little different, and everybody different. I said, nah, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say that, and I'm going to start walking this way. So the outcome of it is this right here. A fool can be changed to a wise guy if you give them something to love. or you give them something to look up to. You know where I'm coming from? And what I had to look up to was my kids. So that's what I had to look up to. My kids is what changed my life around a lot. Right there had me to look at life a little bit different than how I was looking at it. You know where I'm coming from? So yeah, a fool can be changed into a wise guy. Just like a wise guy can be changed into a fool if he allowed the anger to take advantage of how he think and look at life. You know where I'm coming from? But you got to stay on some positive stuff. That's the reason why I speak about positive energy and negative energy. You got to allow that positive energy to take control of your mission, your ways of thinking, your ways of looking at life. Even if it's someone that, like, almost like they say, an iPhone, like turn the cheek, it's almost like that too, you know, once you're able to see it in a different way. Not in a situation where somebody just comes sock you and then you say, nah, I ain't gonna sock you back. That's not what I'm saying. Words shouldn't hurt you. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't a hurt person. So a person should be able to say whatever they want to say about you. You know, that shouldn't hurt you. You should be able to explain to them who you is and what you is after they say it. You know, but that's just what you choose to do and what you don't choose to do. Some people allow people just to say stuff about them and don't even try to give them a whole nother way of looking at it. Whatever you think of it is how you think of it. But not knowing what they ain't knowing is that's another sign of blocking blessings, man. Because blessings come from people. They don't come from praying on your knees and asking for somebody that you can't even talk to for anything. Blessings come from people. So the outcome of that is this right here. You can have people going around saying a lot of bad things about you. You know where I'm coming from? Or you can have people going around saying a lot of good things about you. So that was another thing, a reason why it helped me change from being a fool to a wise guy, you know? Because I had a lot of people going around saying a lot of bad things about me, man, and they was blocking my blessings. People in position that could be a business partner, or maybe this could be a person like, here, man, take this and do what you need to do with it, because I understand your mission and what you on right now, you know? I got all that blocked by people going around telling stories of how they wanted to say of me. You know where I'm coming from? So that's what blocks your blessings. And also, like I said, if you're being a fool out here, you got to step up to the plate and just acknowledge that, you know, the mistakes that you're making too, if you want to be a wise guy. So let me get off of that. We're going to talk about this right here. We got this going on right here too, right? I was sitting back watching 6ix9ine's interview, right? With the guy, Banks, I think that's his name, you know? 6ix9ine sitting back explaining his case about how everything he done is the same thing that 21 Savage, Young Thug, and a lot of other people done. You know where I'm coming from? Gucci Mane. So after watching that interview, I got to looking at something a little different now. We got people around here, brothers and some, it's more of the brothers too. They think this because they got money in their pocket that they real. They think this because they're able to go on a yacht and travel all over the world and do all the stuff that they do that they real. So people supposed to follow what their ideas are, follow what they think is right. Just because they got money. You know where I'm coming from? But I'm gonna give y'all a story about people that, you know, and it's just my opinion. Some of it can be true too. So let me say that. I don't know too many people in the areas where I come from, those who had the money were some of the fakest motherfuckers around. Forgive me for cussing. Those who had the money were some of the fakest people around. You know where I'm coming from? Back when I was looking at life the way I was looking at it, them the ones that'll cutthroat you, they'll backdoor you, they'll deal with you at the same time dealing with your friends. They'll deal with you at the same time dealing with your homegirl, you know? So that's what kind of, you know, those who had the money in my areas, I never had looked at a person with money as being real and where I come from, you know? I never did look at that like that. I look at what's real to me is the work that you put in with your money, not the position and the souls that you try to buy with your money. You know where I'm coming from? Because like I say, this is the reason why a lot of fake, and this is my opinion again, like I said, this is the reason why fake then took over what's real. Because it's a lot of fake people with money. You know what I'm saying? This is why some of them around me were growing up, they used to call me a hater. You know where I'm coming from, growing up back in the days, because I was the one who go at a nigga with money. And what I mean go at them, I'm not saying in no bad way. I would let them know they was fake. Your money don't make you real. You know where I'm coming from? I didn't see what was real. I saw my pops do certain things. I saw my older cousins them do certain things. I saw my older brother them do certain things. And what I saw, what was real, was people who looked out for their people, not people who fuck over their people. I never saw that happen. You know where I'm coming from? And like I said, most of the real people, they'll deal with you, your homeboys, your homegirls, all at the same time. That's the reason why they was able to make money the way they did. You know what I'm saying? They didn't leave an open lane for no one else to make the money. Yeah, they probably do however they did and what they done. But dealing with you, they dealing with everybody else besides you too. So they came up. They were supposed to come up if that's how they operated. You know where I'm coming from? So, like the boy Banks, I don't really know him, but you kind of sound like some people that I do know. You know where I'm coming from? People like that who got money, it's easy to talk down on people who don't have money. Because it's easy to say, well, they just hating or just saying what they saying because they don't have no money. You know where I'm coming from? And the craziest thing is this right here, man. Lost souls have price tags on them. Let me say it again for if you didn't hear what I just said. Lost souls have price tags on them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's almost like if you look at the percentage of lost souls and the percentage of those who have a direction in life, it's more people out here that's lost than more people that's walking in a direction of life. Let me say it the right way. It's more people that's lost than it is people that's walking with a direction in life. Let me say it that way. So it's easy for a person with money to get lost souls to influence them to follow whatever mission that they come up with, versus the one who don't have the money with the ideal. You understand what I'm saying? So it's easy for that to happen. So the outcome, this is what made what was real turn into what's fake today. Because there's too many fake people with money that people follow just because they have money. Some people are afraid to tell them, hey man, you fake. They're so afraid to tell them that they fake because they may jeopardize what they can benefit off of them. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what leads me in the situations that I'm in, is what makes me the wise guy, because I don't mind telling a motherfucker that they fake. If I don't tell them, I don't mind showing them. You know where I'm coming from? So in the outcome of it, it left me on the outskirts of what was going on at that time. You understand what I'm saying? So I seen fakes take over in the late 90s. You know where I'm coming from? So I'm gonna get back to the 6ix9ine and Banks, right? 6ix9ine got a point of what he's saying. He said he's the realest snitch out here. That ain't what he said, that's what I said. But he said he was real, right? And what he done. So I look at it like this. Yeah, he was the realest snitch out here because he'll stand up and call himself a snitch. But you got 21 Savage, Young Thug, and all these other guys saying F the streets when they own paperwork snitching themselves. Then you got the guy Banks taking up for 21 Savage and Young Thug, still talking about, hey man, I ain't in that. I ain't got nothing to say about that. I ain't got no problem with nobody. But at the same time, man, a rat is a rat. A dog is a dog. A horse is a horse. Call it like you see it. And if you can't call it like you see it, then it's showing that you got some type of fakeness in your bones, man. Yeah, you got some type of fakeness inside of your bone if you can't call it how you see it. So this is what people always say, everything is for a reason, they say. Yeah, it's for a reason. Just like when you go to school and they ask you what's 6 plus 6 and you put 11. It's a reason that they tell you you're wrong. You know where I'm coming from? It's a reason why they tell you that you're wrong. Just as well as a reason why they tell you when you're right. See, when you fake, you don't want to hear what's right or what's wrong. You say, I don't want to be in it. I ain't in it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. What's 2 plus 2? Yeah, answer that. That ain't got shit to do with you neither. But let me get off of that neither. We're going to get on this right here. We're going to get on this right here. We got this right here. 80% of us brothers and sisters, what they look at as gangsters, as being a gangster. Let me say it that way. What they look at as being a gangster, 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids can do that and call themselves gangsters. Let me say it one more time. The way 80% of my brothers and sisters in this world look at what's gangster, 12, 13, 14, and 15-year-old kids can be gangsters. See, this is the problem again when I goes back to saying people with money. See, people with money come out with their own means and think that people who don't have money are supposed to follow it. I ain't never been no follower, no matter with money or without it. Nah, I've been a person to soak up game. I ain't follow nothing. You know where I'm coming from? Because I ain't never tried to lead nothing. So that's probably the reason why I ain't never followed nothing. I ain't never tried to lead nothing. You know where I'm coming from? But let me say that. My meaning of gangster is this right here. It's a little bit different than what y'all think gangster is. See, a 12 or 13 or 14, 15-year-old kid can't take care of business. They had no business to take care of. They're not even old enough to get a job at their age, some of them ain't. So what I look at as gangsters, man, is a person who take care of their responsibilities, man. A person out who ain't causing problems. A person out who ain't on no snake ass shit. A person who out here who understands that God is inside of them and the mission is to move off of positive energy. You know where I'm coming from? A person who understands that we more powerful when we together instead of fighting each other. That's gangster to me. The reason what makes that gangster to me, because that's the hardest thing to do. It's hard to get a person on a mission like that. But it's easy to pick up a gun and go out here and shoot somebody and go hang on the block and get some money. That ain't gangster to me. That's a fool. You know what I'm talking about? That's a straight up fool right there. That's not no gangster to me. That's not no gangster at all to me. That's not at all no gangster to me at all. And before I get out of here, we're going to say this right here real quick. We got all these X-Files and we got all these guys out here that's speaking on space things and aliens, and they speaking on all the things that they speaking on, whatever they choosing to speak on. They got the rights to. But I'm going to say this. What if these guys, instead of wasting their time worrying about what's in space, instead of worrying about who on the spaceship or who in the UFO, instead of worrying about what's happening over there in Iran or what's happening over there in Iraq or what's happening in Russia, what if we was worrying about what's going on right here in America? What if we was sitting down at the table trying to figure out ideas to pull people together? But I guess that's a little bit too much right. And right ain't what we on today. We on a lot of wrong. You know where I'm coming from? But what if we was on a mission to bring people together, come up with ideas to stop all the killing and the teenagers out here on all these different types of drugs? What if we was on a mission trying to pull that together instead of find out who's flying the UFO? So do you see why they're able to put this stuff out here on us right here? It takes up time. You know where I'm coming from? It takes up time. So if you're spending your time worrying about the UFO, you don't have too much time to worry about what's important about bringing people together. Because your grandbabies and their grandbabies gonna have to be living in this world when we gone. So if we fix what's going on today, they don't have to worry about it later. And this is wise thoughts, wise moves, wise clues for you guys to be wise too. You know what I'm talking about, and I'm the wise guy who once was that fool. I swear to God on my blood. Like and subscribe and leave me some comments. I'm out of here.